All right, thanks for coming back, guys. Episode 2 is now in the books, and oh man, I love this show. So, episode 2, we see Mikhail's family try to deal with the disappearance. So, Martha's obviously struggling. Magnus is angry. You just see him punching the hell out of a wall with bloody knuckles. The mother, I think her name is Katerina, she's struggling. Ulrich is obviously losing his mind, running everywhere, trying to find any clues that helps him get to Mikhail. We do meet kind of an unknown character. He has this green rain jacket with a little scraggly beard. And he's kind of overlooking the police search in this field. So he's kind of an ominous figure. We don't really know. And we see the head of the nuclear power plant. His name is Alexander. He and Eric's father, Eric Albendorf, the boy who went missing, who we see at the end of the first episode getting strapped in with the metal contraption and the chair. They have something going on. We don't really know what, but we do see later in the episode Ulrich is searching Eric's father's residence, and he finds like this little trailer, and or like this shed, and he goes inside, and he finds this mattress, and he lifts it up, and there's like this secret door underneath, and he's like bringing up this chain that's like in the water, and he's pulling it up. I think it's like a head or something, or like body parts, and he opens it up, and it's drugs. So it's Eric's other stash, and that's when the father comes in, and he's like, "Hey, put your hands up, you trespassing!" And then they have a conversation, and he basically tells him, "My son was we were working together, and my son was dealing drugs to the school so we would make money." So Ulrich is like, "Oh, that sucks, but it doesn't really help me find my son, and that's not what I wanted to hear." He also, kind of confronts him about, because he suspects that he is possibly in connection with this case somehow, because he's also a janitor that works at the power plant. So he thinks him and Alexander may be in cahoots. So he confronts him on that front, and he's like, "I wasn't working that night." And he's like, "Okay, well, that kind of ruins that." Now, one of the other little storylines is Ulrich's parents. They actually, the father acts really strange, because the night that Mikhail goes missing, his wife asks, she's like, "Where were you last night? You were out of bed. The car wasn't here." He's like, "Oh, I had to go to the grocery store, and I was doing some gardening or something." And so she's starting to notice this strange behavior from, I can't remember their names, but they're Ulrich's parents. And then Jonas has like these continuous nightmares where he sees who we think is his father covered in blood. He wakes up from this nightmare, and he has like blood, oozing out of his ear. So he's still struggling coping with his father, but he also thinks that maybe it's a message or something. He thinks these dreams have some kind of meaning. Ulrich also tries to break up with Hannah. There, because that's the woman who he's having an affair with. That's also Jonas's mother. So all these storylines are just like so intermingled. But this is seriously just the tip of the iceberg. We've gotten nowhere in this show yet. But he tries to break it off with her. She doesn't seem like she takes it so well, but he's like, "I got all this shit to deal with, so give me a break." And the episode ends with Mikhail. Remember, he's the boy that went missing. He's Ulrich's son. He walks out of the cave. We don't see anything. We just see him walk out of the cave. Things look a little bit different. Doesn't really know why. He looks around, and he tries to go. He goes home. He goes to the house that he lives in. And as he gets there, he notices there's like a scooter out front that just wasn't supposed to be there. And he goes and, goes up to the front door, and there's this young guy standing there. And he's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I live here." And he's like, "Who are you?" And he says his name is Ulrich, but he's like 17. So Mikhail is like, "What?" And then a girl pulls up on a little scooter and is like, "Let's go, Ulrich. We have to go to school." And he's like, "I'm coming, Katerina." So you're like, "Oh, fuck. Ulrich, Katerina, that's his fucking parents." And he looks at the little newspaper, and he notices it's 1986. So somehow, young Mikhail has gone back to the past when his parents are teenagers, And that's how episode 2 ends. So we're getting into shit now. I'll be back for episode 3. Thanks, guys. Any questions? Leave in the comments.